Hello and welcome to the Granger podcast. I am your host, Kirk Bjorlin, City Administrator. On this podcast, we'll provide current updates on businesses, schools, public interest projects, and more. Today, we have a great interview for you, but first, we'll jump right into community updates. And for your community updates, I'd like to bring to your attention, many of you have probably seen, but the new water tower is completed. We'll be bringing that online here soon. The city has also hired a recent hire, Alicia Van Drumlin, as our Park and Rec Community Engagement Director. I want to welcome her. Feel free to stop in at the community center and say hi if you need anything. And Fire Prevention Week, October 5th through the 11th, Granger Fire and EMS will host an open house on the 7th from 5 to 8 p.m. Food will be provided. Look for further information on the department's social media page and Facebook. Granger newsletter will be sent out at the beginning of the month for further updates and information on the community. Also wanted to give another shout out and information out for Fareway. October 9th from 12 to 7 p.m. at the American Legion, doing interviews. Walk-ins welcome, hiring for all job types and positions. That's it for your community updates.
What's Granger going to look like once you open? I mean, historically with Fareway, I think there's other businesses that generally hop on board or come to town. And what are some of your expectations or some of your experience seeing some of that with communities?
Yeah, sure. I think we kind of lend ourselves to neighboring businesses to open around us. You know, we know who we are. We're certainly not all things to all people. We don't have a pharmacy, a dry cleaner, a coffee shop, a dine-in place to eat. And I think that really opens the door for those types of businesses to open around us where we can share the same footprint, customer traffic, and make a nice little neighborhood of businesses. So our hope, while we do have some partnerships out there, our hope is that people recognize that we're now a hub in town where businesses can open up and work together.
Hello and welcome to the Granger podcast. I'm your host, Kirk Bjorlin, City Administrator, Granger, Iowa. And with me today is Tony James Mayor and Vice President of West Region, Brian Greiner. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thanks
for having us.
Yeah, let's get started here. We're excited to have Fareway to town, and I'll kind of kick it off. Why Granger?
Yeah, I think, the city of Granger has great bones, strong local leadership, strong schools, great growth, good infrastructure. Certainly the proximity to the Des Moines Metro is a advantage for us. I think these characteristics, along with the city's desire to bring a grocery store to town, was big for us. You guys made it a very easy process, and so that's a big deal for us too. You can about imagine different communities have different things, hoops you have to jump through, for example, and you guys are just really easy to work with. So that was kind of the reasons why. I just felt like it was a good fit for us.
Right. I'm going to kind of grease the skids a little bit here. So I arrived in November of 21 and started hearing a little bit of rumblings about Fareway, and we were at the time starting to do some negotiating. But I know there's some connection there. Mayor James grew up in Boone, and I think some of the leadership may have grown up in Boone. So it was nice to have that relationship when we started doing the development agreement and figuring that out.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up in Boone, so obviously I know a lot of the family members, a lot of the executives with Fareway, and more importantly, I know firsthand kind of what kind of impact Fareway has on the community.
Yeah, definitely.
And what they can do for folks in a community. So, Brian, can you tell us a little bit about maybe you personally, your background with the company and what you do day to day?
Yeah, sure. So my background with Fareway goes back 34 years this year.
Wow.
So I started at Fareway when I was in high school, 14 years old, first job, only job I've ever had. So just loved the business, loved working with people, helping people, found myself just was never given a reason to leave. And so just continued on the path, joined the management training program out of college, worked my way up to a store manager position. 15, they asked if I would want to come into the office and be a supervisor, and that's not something I'd ever thought I would be doing, but was excited about another challenge. So came into the office in 2015, 10 years this week, actually. So right now my responsibility is to supervise a territory on our western footprint of about 25 stores, western Iowa and eastern Nebraska.
Gotcha.
That's exciting. So, listeners, any kids, anyone who have kids, we will have a store opening up. We'll get to the date of opening here on the podcast. Great place to work, and we may transition in a little bit of that store opening time frame. Maybe what your schedule looks like for interviewing,
Sure.
number of employees, things like
Sure.
that.
Okay. Yeah, so we have an open interview event scheduled for Thursday, October 9th. That's here in town at the American Legion Hall. 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. is the time frame. And we're just taking people as they walk in, so no need to make an appointment. If you'd like to fill out an application ahead of time online, you can certainly do that at our fairwaystores.com/careers. Otherwise, we'll just, you can come in and fill an application out that day. We'll be looking for probably 60 plus employees, both full-time and part-time positions for sure. Probably 10 to 12 of those positions being full-time that we're hoping to fill with local people. In addition to that, we'll have 4 management level positions. Those folks will probably come from our system. People that are working through our management training program will be here for that. So, as far as an opening date, we have December 17th circled on our calendar. Feel pretty confident about hitting that date. So
Good. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's going to be great. It's going to, personally, it's going to save me hours a week and running to the store about every day I forget something.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
That's awesome. Okay, Brian, Fareway, and maybe I'm wrong in saying this, but I thought recently Fareway's kind of building faster, growing fast, becoming a little more aggressive with building stores. Can you talk a little bit about maybe Fareway's history and the
Sure.
growth you've had recently and kind of the direction you guys are heading?
Sure. We're an 87-year-old company, started in 1938 in Boone, Iowa. Kind of funny story there. Our first store was supposed to be in Ames, Iowa. We had property bought there, and it turns out this little building opened up in Boone, and the founding fathers decided they could open that up real quick and got that up and going about a month before the Ames location. So Ames actually turned out to be our second store, but now we're a company of 142 stores in 7 states, opening our first full-size store in Kansas next month. And then the Granger store here in December will be our 4th new store this year, and we've kind of been on that 3 to 5 store cadence for 8 to 10 years, and look to continue that. Really on a plan to continue to add those number of stores every year. Both, our full-size stores, we've got our meat market concept you guys are probably familiar with, has been doing very well, along with smaller size stores for smaller communities. We deliver groceries to, almost every town in Iowa, right? Or we're at least going through there. And so there's a lot of situations where a small town, smaller than Granger even, doesn't have a store, and we have a semi truck rolling through there every day anyway. So why not find a building, drop a few pallets of groceries, and give that community, a store for them to have. So a lot of opportunities within our current footprint. It's working out really well for us.
You mentioned size of store, so let's compare for the listener.
Sure.
Size of store compared to maybe what's in the metro.
Okay. The Granger store will be our 21,000-ish footprint. Not the largest store we build. The largest is around 23,000, so it might have one less aisle than what our largest store has. So a little bit bigger than the Polk City store, for example.
Yep.
Approximately the same size as the Grimes location. So it'll be a nice size store for this community for sure, with almost all the bells and whistles that they're used to.
One that captured my attention, this will be pretty close and identical to the one that is southwest of Jordan Creek.
Correct.
On
yeah,
Mill Civic.
on Mill Civic. It'll be the exact same size store.
So
as
good
that.
comparison.
Correct.
Good.
Yep.
Great.
Good.
So going back to the employees, you mentioned 60 employees, and you said you started at age 14. So student employment, a big focus for your company and open to students and things like that. I know I have a son that's going to be turning 14 in January. He can't wait. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, student employment is a huge part of what we'll be looking for. We're one of the few employers that hires at 14. It is a good first job. I can speak from experience, learned work ethic, right? Learned how to talk to the public,
Yep.
just, learn how to handle yourself professionally. I think a lot of our store managers all have that same story too. So student workers are a big part of what we'll be looking for. I think another great thing about us is kids are busy, involved in activities, and we're super flexible with scheduling, those types of things. And you have to be, to get the good ones. So we'll be looking to hire a good number of kids out of high school.
Good. Any grand opening dates set? Soft, hard opening?
Sure. The plan would be, as is typical with us, the night before we open. So Tuesday evening, we'll have a kind of a soft opening, a VIP event of sorts where it's kind of invite only, let the local officials, state officials, county officials, vendors, anybody that kind of had a hand in the project will be invited to come. We'll cut a ribbon, those types of things the night before, and then open, for everyone on Wednesday. We'll have some events that day, giveaways, etc. We'll open at 8 o'clock there on Wednesday. And while we're talking about that, store hours will be 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Saturday, which is typical across our stores. Obviously closed on Sunday, which as an employee, we all love that. So that tradition will continue here as well.
Good.
Yeah,
Exciting.
You took my next question. So that's what I was going to ask. So great. So what does a community or what's Granger going to look like once you open? I mean, historically with Fareway, I think there's other businesses that generally hop on board or come to town. And what are some of your expectations or some of your experience seeing some of that with communities?
Yeah, sure. I think we kind of lend ourselves to neighboring businesses to open around us. We know who we are. We're certainly not all things to all people. We don't have a pharmacy, a dry cleaner, a coffee shop, a dine-in place to eat. And I think that really opens the door for those types of businesses to open around us where we can share the same footprint, customer traffic, and make a nice little neighborhood of businesses. So our hope, while we do have some partnerships out there, our hope is that people recognize that we're now a hub in town where businesses can open up and work together. So it'll be exciting to see what kind of pops up around us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know, just can't thank you guys enough. The store's not open, and for years you've been supportive. You've been helping us with community service days. You've been helping us with when we had a water problem. You brought pallets of water to help the citizens out already. So can you talk a little bit about charity work or community service work that Fareway does?
Sure. A big part of what we feel is an obligation to our communities. Customers in Granger will be out supporting us, and we want to return that and support them as well. So we are always looking for opportunities to get involved, whether that's donating product, donating time, all of those things. Our management teams will be super excited to be involved with different organizations in town and certainly be part of that community. So it's something that we talk about a lot. We talk a lot about the Fareway family. And we just, we look forward to bringing the city of Granger into our Fareway family.
Good. We're excited. We're
Exciting.
excited.
We've kind of transitioned here. The mayor and I have asked you a lot of questions. Anything specific you want to talk to the listeners, get out to the listeners? Key focus, things the store might focus on, or things you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is just, if you haven't been inside a brand new Fareway store in the last couple years, you're going to be impressed. We've really upped our game, I think, in the look and feel of our stores. Back in the day, it was white floors, white fixtures, white shelving, white walls. It was a very clean look, but but kind of dated. And now you're just going to be amazed when you walk in and see, a nice colored floor, black cases, black shelving, dark fixtures, and it's still bright in there that you want. And I just really think even the outside of our building has improved, just the look of what we have. And I think Granger's going to be just really proud of the building that we build and the whole shopping experience that they have when they come in the store.
Good. I may kind of touch on some economic development. So for the city, what is exciting for us is there are vacant lots immediately to your east, and then another vacant lot immediate to the southeast, another vacant lot to the west. Two of those have a long history of economic development. And then you go down to the Bar None building, and the Sturgeon family still own a lot on either side of Bar None. And then across the street, Reader Corporation owns 40 acres where they have recently put in a cul-de-sac and a road. And we recently received information that the Iowa Finance Authority will be looking to fund and will award, if they build, up to a very sizable tax credit that will help a 42-unit apartment building be built. And then, you look up on the hill, and we just finished the water tower. So, and then north of town, for more economic development, we have the new junior high being built. We have Greenland Homes and Absolute in town. Ballard 5 just built. Godwin's are looking to build another flex space. Artistic Concrete. And I don't know if I mentioned Absolute Group has 200 to 300 employees coming in and out. So we are excited. You add to that. We want to thank you for coming early. We know you committed to us, Mayor, close to 2 years ago. I think we probably entered into knowing that
the development agreement, I think, was probably finalized maybe 3 years ago. And then, but yeah, even before you came, I think that it was kind of a done deal that we were going to try to get something done here in the next few years. So, and you mentioned having easy to work with the city. I'd echo that, right? I mean, your leadership has been fantastic and nothing but supportive, and emails and texts and you individually and others with the company. So just can't thank you enough for all the support you guys have given us as well.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Anything else we didn't touch on that you'd like to promote and talk about? This will be, and for listeners, you are listening to the first podcast of the Granger podcast. We're going to launch this early in the month, and we're excited for that. We're excited to have Fareway here, grand opening in the middle of December. And
17th.
Yes.
Yeah, give the job fair dates one more time, and make sure we circle back on that, because that'll be big for the listeners.
Sure. Yeah. Job open interviews October 9th, 12 noon to 7 p.m. at the American Legion Hall here in town.
Good.
Awesome. Anything else for us, Brian?
I don't think so. Appreciate being guest number one, and congratulations to you guys for launching what I think will be an awesome resource for the community. So it's fantastic that you guys are taking the time to put this together, and I think the community needs it. I'm sure it's hard to get the word out sometimes, and just certainly another vehicle, a tool you can use to just communicate with folks here in town. So.
Good. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you much.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the Granger podcast. This is Kirk Bjorlin, your host. Empowering success, fueling growth. Thank you, and have a great day. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Granger podcast. Make sure to follow us on social media for updates on the next show, and we'll see you on the next episode. The Granger podcast, empowering success and fueling growth.